I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, December the 6th, brought to you in part by Norfenacol by Norbrook, when only speed wins the race on BRD. You guys know as well as I do, if that calf looks like it needs a shot, it needed a shot yesterday. Fill the gap with Norfenacol. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Also, Unionville livestock markets and Creston livestock markets in north central Missouri and south central Iowa. Unionville's got a busy next several days. They've got a big special cow and bred heifer sale on Saturday, December the 7th. The featured consignment is Bill Richards. He's got 100 head of fancy bred heifers. He's got some Brinkley Angus genetics in there. They're big frame, nice fancy heifers. Be just what you need, guys, if you're looking to improve your genetics. Also, Terry Wynn has got 100 fancy registered Angus cows. They're going to be middle-aged, and then there's several other small disbursements and consignments that are honest come around the local area there. Be easy to find what you're looking for there at Unionville Livestock Market, Unionville, Missouri, on Saturday, December the 7th. Then coming back right away on Tuesday, the 10th, they're going to have a special calf and yearling sale. Indeed, they're going to have 4 loads of those Rockin' R backgrounded steers there from Lucerne, Missouri, that always top the market. Hinky Farms is going to have 170 head of fancy red and black Angus calves there, and they're going to be weaned. Jack Dairy's got 70 black weaned calves there, and then there's several other large consignments of calves, complete sellout of the calf crop there. So check out both of those sales at Unionville. And at Creston, Iowa, Creston Livestock Market on Wednesday, December the 11th, is having a special all-vaccinated calf and yearling sale. Justin Peterson's got another big string in there. 400 yearling Angus heifers there, guys. Be weighing around 8. Be really nice. You guys are looking for something like that. Parishes are going to have 200 black and black baldy weaned calves there. There's numerous other 100 head or larger calf crops going to be selling there too, and then several more deals of yearlings. So check out Creston Livestock Auction in Creston, Iowa, Wednesday the 11th. It's rodeo time, and that's always fun. First weekend, full week in December, it's National Finals Rodeo time. That is the unofficial cattlemen's convention. You see a hell of a lot more ranchers and real cattlemen at that deal than you'll ever see at any kind of a cattlemen's association meeting or something like that. And it's always fun to go out there. I'm going to get to go out there. I'm going to sneak off there for a few days there early this next week, and I am taking this brand new cowboy hat that American Hat Company sent me. It's one of a kind 5-inch all natural there, 500X. But I just got done taking it down to Best Hats in Fort Worth for them to put a crease on it. I just didn't feel comfortable getting the teapot out like I normally do with a hat like this, but excited about going down there. Gonna have a good time, and there'll be lots of people there. If you're down there and you see me, give me a holler. Tell me you're a Feeder Flash gang member. We'll shake hands and visit for a minute, or just acknowledge each other's presence, whatever you want to do there. But it's probably the funnest thing that you can do all year long. And when you go out there to Vegas, going to the rodeo is the most entertainment you can have. I mean, there's shows, there's concerts, there's gambling, cocktails, everything. The rodeo is the most fun thing to do. And if you see people or talk to people that say, oh, I don't really like to go to the rodeo and do all that, that's because they can't find plaza tickets. And so they can't get excited about going to the rodeo. If you get plaza tickets, there's not a bad seat anywhere in there. And it's just, I've been to a jillion rodeos my whole life, but I'm always impressed when I get to go to the rodeo and have good seats down in the plaza. I got a good friend of mine and his girlfriend. They're going to be couples with us going to the rodeo there on Sunday and Monday night. Cannot wait to do that. But there's nothing in Vegas going on at the Thomas and Mack or down on Fremont Street or the Strip or anywhere. There's nothing going on in Vegas as wild as the calf market is in these sale barns this week, especially mid to late week. I mean, it was wild early, but it just keeps getting wilder and wilder. And it always kind of tickles me when I see people say, I've never seen it this good. Nobody else has either, because it's never been anywhere close to that. It has far surpassed anything we've ever seen on these lightweight stockers. We only dreamed about this, and it's just unbelievable. Now, feeders are high too, and in some places they're at all-time record highs. Not all places, and not all weights and classes, but on these pee-wee calves, these lightweight stockers, these wheat munchers, yes, it is at all-time record highs, and we're seeing some of these calves bringing these huge prices way up in Nebraska, up in the Dakotas, maybe even in Montana, and those cattle are bound for Southern Plains wheat, and so they will get some cheap gain on them, but you got to have them weaned if you want to get the big price, and we are seeing some of these peewees that are long time weaned now. And if you guys stay tuned to the end of this report, I'm going to give you some prices, if you haven't already heard about them, that you cannot believe at all. You know, these big feeders, they are selling so high, and even though we've got cheap feed, and you can feed them to heavier weights to try to cheapen them back up, a lot of these cattle are still washing out about $2 a pound fat. That's pretty optimistic, guys. You cannot lock that in on the board anywhere. You can't hedge them to protect yourself, and it's getting pretty scary. And I'm going to keep telling you guys, while these calves are so high, that you need to look at getting LRPs on them. You can call Livestock Risk Services. That's my friend Dakota Moss there, that offices in the Exchange building at the Oklahoma National Stockyards. They are your LRP specialists. He has got a license in just about every single state there is. Last time I talked to him, he's had people calling him from all over the country, some due to this report, wanting LRPs, and he's just about got himself ready to go anywhere that you are at. But give him a call, give one of his agents a call here that might be closer to you, or somebody that you know. Tell you what, these things are getting dangerous. You know, I was talking with Jackie Moore on Thursday there, and he said, you know, these things could go down $500 a head in a week. They could. And what scares me is eventually, I think they will. I don't know that they're going to go down that fast, but they're going to go down a hell of a lot faster than they went up. But when you got all this room below you, and your head's in the clouds, you've got to protect yourself, people. And I know they haven't paid off maybe the last round or two of cattle you've turned out, but eventually they might save the ranch. I was talking, I noticed on Thursday, Joplin Regional Stockyards did have their big weanback special. They had 5,100 head, and the cattle sold the calves sold from $5 to $14 higher than the regular Monday sale. Now, some of that was due to the fact that these were all long time weaned and vaccinated. Another part of it would be because they were in larger bunches and maybe the quality was a little bit better. And then another part of it is, I think the calf market was a little bit better later in the week than it was on Monday. But that, you put all that together, and those calves are $5 to $14 higher than they were just on Monday. Feeders are selling mostly steady, and you would assume that because most of them are yearlings or have been weaned a long, long time, so it wouldn't have been that much difference on them. But they did have a primetime livestock video after the weanback sale on Thursday at Joplin Regional Stockyards. Now, it was a humdinger. A lot of the cattle were kind of put together cattle, and some of them had been heavily backgrounded, so you know, they weren't going to top the market. But Moriando Farms there around Mount Vernon, Missouri, they've got a really good reputation. And when you're in the cattle business, I tell you guys, you're just like a 16-year-old girl in high school. Your reputation is everything. and you need to work on building that and maintaining that. Mariando Farms has done that, and whenever they get ready to sell some cattle, it brings a lot of attention. And so they had put them on the Primetime Livestock video, and they sold 350 head of 900-pound home-raised yearling steers. They were all blacks and black baldies. They've been, of course, turned out forever. Been running on grass and just 3 pounds of DDGs, just to kind of keep them going good. But they come next week. They deliver right next week. But 350 of them weighing 900 pounds to come next week bring 266. Wow. That is amazing. Weighing 900 pounds as a base weight. They do have a weight stop at, I believe, 935. But that is overly impressive. You guys, we're going to see stuff like that. And of course, that's nothing compared to, how these peewee calves are selling. But that is a very, very impressive yearling price. And I don't know that I've ever seen one any higher. But let's talk about your board. On Thursday, December live cattle futures are down $1.40 in the face of all these higher cash markets. It doesn't have a thing to do, the board, and then your feeder board was down more. It doesn't have a thing to do with what's going on in the cash world, guys. 186.97 December live cattle. February was down $2, 186.32. Back months down $1.12 to down $1.95 for fat cattle, and fat cattle are bringing $1.90, and it's falling way behind. Now, January feeder cattle down 202 at 254.92, and now your spot feeder cattle contract on CME is running more than $5 lower than what your index levels are, and we're getting closer to January, but still, like I always say, when you're trading in a bastard month, December doesn't have a feeder cattle contract, they can just juke and jive that thing all they want to, and it doesn't really matter until we get towards the middle of January, when it's got to get closer. But March feeder cattle down 210 at 250.360. Your back months down $1.30 to down 207. Your grains were up pretty good on Thursday. March corn was up 5 cents a bushel at 4.35. January beans up 10 cents a bushel at 9.93 3/4, and hard red winter wheat for March settling at 5.52.5. Your fat cattle trade, we did start to see a little bit of trade, and I think likely there was more after 2 o'clock. What I'm giving you is what USDA had gathered up, or actually what your packer plants had put into the database of mandatory price reporting before 2 o'clock. They get more and more lax about doing that all the time, and I don't think the auditors are keeping them straight, tracking things down, and making sure they're putting them in a timely manner. But Iowa sold 3,100 head. They've sold 4,000 for the week. Live price in Iowa on Thursday, 189 to 190. Dress price at 297. Nebraska sold 2,100 on Thursday, just 2,700 for the week. Live price in Nebraska 190. Dress price 295 to 297. Kansas sold 600 head. They've only sold 1,000 for the week, but they're all at 190. So that's steady. Texas sold 700 head at 190. So I think we still got a chance to be a little bit stronger than that. These are just early sales here, and of course, your packers are whining about box beef cutout values. That's their fault. You need to, if you don't like where the box beef cutout values are, ask more for the cutouts, and you've got to do that. It's not like it's a negotiated price. The packers put out a menu, and your wholesale buyers either buy it or they don't. So crank the price up if you want it. That just because fat cattle haven't gained a whole bunch doesn't mean that your cattle feeders are feeling sorry for your backgrounders, because those prices have gone up so much. You worry about your own stuff. Box beef cutout values were down a little bit more on Thursday. Choice cuts are down 49 cents at 307.84. Selects down 60 cents at 277.10. Your slaughter, 485,000 estimated cattle slaughter up through the first 4 days of the week. I can't compare it with a week ago because of Thanksgiving, but same week a year ago, it was 19,000 bigger than that. So we've fallen behind quite a bit. Talk about what else is going on. Green River posts. If you need to buy some fencing equipment before the end of the year, you know you're going to need it. Green River posts will deliver anywhere in the U.S. and they've got a 25-year warranty against rot. For more information, go to greenriverpost.com. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. Late in the day on Thursday, after all the sales had finished, 261.46. That was up 50 cents. So that was a little more than it was down on Wednesday's trade, but up there almost 261.50. That's pretty impressive, and that's as high as it's ever been. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index just seems like it will not cross 260. The latest available is 259.82. I do believe that it will cross 260 the next time that it comes out. Let's talk about a sale that's coming up here on Friday. Nevada Livestock Marketing in Fallon, Nevada has got over 5,000 head of those really hard, high altitude desert calves, and have a few yearlings too. But guys, those cattle are just ready to explode whenever you turn them out on some winter forage there. Get on to DVAuction.com, check out Nevada Livestock Auction or Livestock Marketing there in Fallon, Nevada, and view and bid that sale that's going to be happening on Friday. Let's talk about your big sales on Thursday. Winter Livestock in Pratt, Kansas had 3,700 head of feeders that I saw. They didn't have their federal state market report out late on Thursday. They're getting more lax about that all the time. Of course, I could tell, your peewee calves, your lightweight stockers were sharply higher. You'll be able to see that too. Pratt was our NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day. Check out this automated market report that comes out automatically there, and you can kind of see what's going on. Look at your best tested weights, and there were several of them. There were 401 head of the 4-weight steers in Pratt, average 458 at 414.51. Wow. How about 737 head of 5-weight steer calves in Pratt? They averaged 542 with a weighted average price of 354.65, averaging almost 5.5, and there was over 700 of them. 598 head of 6-weight steer calves averaged 628 at 305.93, and 268 head of 7-weight steers in Pratt, Kansas averaged 739, weighted average price of 275.47. Look at your heifers. There were 263 head of 4-weight heifers. They averaged 454, weighted average price 342.88. 487 head of the 5-weight heifers averaged 547, weighted average price 297.73. Wow. How about 230 head of 6-weight heifers averaged 649 at 263.55. Give you some individual quotes from all around, and I'm going to go from heaviest weights to lighter weights, and these are so impressive, where they can sell big, heavy, started near beer feeders up there at Mitchell, South Dakota. Mitchell Livestock Marketing sold 53 big steers, weighed 1,010 pounds, and they bring 252 1/4. Wow. How about Clarinda Livestock Auction in Clarinda, Iowa? It's also a DVAuction broadcaster there. They do an awfully good job. They sell 73 steers, weighed 756 at 285 1/4. I thought that was pretty impressive. How about Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota? They're buddies of mine there. They are broadcasters with DVAuction fairly recently there. They sell 87 replacement heifers. Here's your replacement heifer market. 87 of them weighed 630 pounds for replacement, and they were advertised that way at $304.75, or about $1,920 for some 6-weight replacement quality heifers. Then they come back and they can sell the steers, very impressive too. Also in Dickinson, North Dakota, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, they sold 89 head of Charolais Cross steers, weighed 652, and bring 355.75. Oh my gosh. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere, and there was a big impressive one out of Pratt, but I thought this was more impressive. Your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day was on some peewees there. Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska. They sold 48 head of little peewee steers. They were black and black baldy steers. They'd been weaned for 75 days and been hay fed after they were weaned. But 48 of them weigh 305 and bring 547.50. You've never heard anything like that. I haven't either, because it's never happened. Little steer calves weigh 305 and bring 547.50. How's that for some little stocking stuffers? And that's your feeder flash for Friday.